What's going on, guys? Dr.DDub here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play RollerCoaster Tycoon. We are still here on Millennium Mines. Last episode, we built the gold panner, and while it did come out a little bit longer than I anticipated, it is doing pretty well. We still haven't gotten test results back yet, so I have no idea how good of a ride this is. That, I believe, is our test boat that we did, so we're still waiting on that. But one thing I noticed, taking a look through our park, is that ever since we... not that tab, this tab. Ever since we started charging an actual admission price, it's causing a lot of issues with our rides. And that's probably something I'm just going to have to suck it up and deal with. But you see, like, just lowering it 20 cents makes people go on it again. People were unwilling to pay $2.50, but they're completely willing to pay $2.30, and this has nobody in the queue line, so I need to drop this as well to get people to go on it. I don't know how much. I basically just look at the line and drop it little by little until I see people start going on it. It's kind of ridiculous. We had to do this a little bit whenever we would do a free admission and just make all our revenue off the rides. So $2.80. So normally on this, if we were doing it the other way, which we have been doing in our other parks, we'd be able to charge $5.20. So we're making a little more than half of what we could do. And see, like, I dropped this 20 cents and the line's already full again. I mean, it just creates a lot more upkeep on my end, having to maintain these rides and adjust their prices accordingly. Like, no one wants to go on this thing. Now, one dude does, but I need more than one person to ride this. And a lot of people, it's hard to tell, because some of them just want to go on something more exciting. Others, they just absolutely refuse to go on it because it's boring. So, those are the same thing. But people have different reasonings for not going on rides. It's kind of frustrating. Okay, let's see if this got any stats. It did. $5.92. And it looks like people are still paying that willingly. And I can do the same here. I can up it slowly. Well, I'm running out of line to see if people actually start going in it. So we'll leave it at $4.20 for the time being. And one thing I wanted to do is I noticed I didn't really... There were some areas I had in mind for putting some of these kind of railings that I didn't. And I want to simulate sort of safety. So, like, this side, they could potentially fall off over here. They don't need it on this side because it's not exposed to anything. But on this side, the land isn't flush. Or on this side it is. It's flush with the path. On this side, it slopes down. So I wanted to do some railings here as well. Just kind of up this entire side. I think that looks kind of nice. And maybe just for the sake of symmetry, we'll do it on the other side as well. And like I said before, this doesn't take a whole lot of work to do. It's not super expensive, but I think that adds a lot. You know, feel free to disagree, like I always say, but I think it looks very nice. So I'll actually do some right there. We're going to extend this walkway out here in a little bit. Probably not right this second, but... What the heck? Did this break down? It did. I was wondering why that train was stopped right there. Okay, so we're going to build... we got a swinging ship last episode. And then I want to build... I think I'm going to do a steel mini coaster. I think that could be something we will have the money to do. That's mainly my reasoning for choosing that ride over something else, is purely it's not super expensive and we'll probably have the money to do it. So I need to figure out where I want to expand my park next, because I don't want to make this too crowded. We have a lot of room in this park and I want to use that room. So I could easily put this, you know, over in this area. It would fit. It's something I would normally do in another park, but in this one, like I just said, I'm wanting to utilize more space and make it look more like an actual theme park. So I'm thinking if we take the path here And what if we stretch part of it into the middle here? That's happening. I think that's going to look nice. So we'll actually do the swinging ship right there. Entrance here, exit there. Sorry, I'm trying to envision where this is all going to line up. I think that will work with how I'm planning this. I think. Okay, so... Ooh, okay, so we're going to go one to the side here. Because I want to connect right there. And that prevents us from having to do any sort of supports or... these kind of supports on the walkways. I think this looks a little bit more natural. Natural, not natural. What am I saying? Sometimes what I have in my head and what comes out of my mouth don't always line up perfectly. So, okay, before we open that ride, actually, we'll go ahead and test it with max swings, because why not? That'll allow us to charge more money initially, because we're going to slowly have to lessen how much money we charge. So let's hire a new handyman, and let's see where we've got guys. Okay, so this guy can go... He can cover this whole stretch. This isn't a whole lot. Especially with... Yeah, this guy can do it. I was about to say, especially with the rides that we're going to be adding, I don't anticipate them being too nauseating. So usually I'll try to put handymen, like this guy. Right now he's patrolling an empty walkway. The two nearest rides are a carousel or a merry-go-round and a swinging ship. Neither of those are super nauseating. However, if I have a ride that is just crazy intense and very nauseating, I'll try to limit the amount of footpath to like a tile or two, or I guess a 4x4 section or two. Because there's usually going to be a very high concentration of vomit right outside the exit. So, golden pendulum. I like it. Okay, we need to paint this. It's named the golden pendulum, so let's make it the color of gold. Which I don't know which... Oh my goodness. That's going to stay black. That looks very strange. And what if we do black on that as well and gold there? I think that looks really cool. Let's try doing this in that gold as well. I actually think I like it the other way better, so we're going to go back to that. Perfect. Golden pendulum. All right, how much can we charge for this? Certainly not free. We'll try... And again, this is something that you just kind of have to wait and see how people react to it. It's going to take a little bit to get people over in this area of our park. We only have 510 guests currently, 512 now. Okay, I'll leave it at there for now. The way I think it works is people just, as a ride gets older, the longer it's been in existence, the maximum price someone's willing to pay gradually decreases. And so if I don't hit that maximum price now, it'll just last longer before I have to modify it. And actually, let me build another information kiosk out in this general area. Now that we've expanded our park a little bit, I want to make sure that people can still find their way around. Info kiosk 2. Okay. And we did just get go-karts. I think I want to build one of those, or I think I want to build a go-kart track. Not one of the go-karts. So let's do it. I'm getting really excited for this part, guys. As I slowly expand, I'm kind of seeing where things are going to lay out. Like I can envision this expanding over in this area, or possibly having it just go this direction and then back around and just having a ride in this section. The options are plentiful. And then when we expand our park in this area, it's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be a giant sort of, not drawbridge, a giant suspended bridge kind of going over all of this. I don't want to lower it down to ground level. I want it to kind of stick out above everything. So we'll get to that eventually. We're not starting with that quite yet. But I want to make sure to leave room for some decor on this ride. So we're actually going to spin this so we go this direction. I want to do the exit right here onto this path, and then the entrance will face right here onto this tile. So we'll do that many stations. I don't know. I think that works. And yeah, this is going to be kind of simple. Again, I want to leave room for decorations. I don't know if I can get back up there. No, I can't. I want to leave some room for some nice looking stuff on the inside. Some of our mine scenery theming objects, or whatever the heck they're called. So we'll do one kind of, or some stuff over here. Maybe we'll leave one of those kind of houses right here in the middle. So we'll make sure to leave a 2x2 area for it, because I think that's how wide those things are. And again, this isn't going to be incredibly long. I want to make it sort of short and sweet. I feel like I do that, or say I'm planning on doing that a lot lately for these go-kart rides. But that's because they don't need to be incredibly long. And you can still make very good money from them, so. All right, and we'll do one turn there and call it good. Perfect. The way this ends up looking, I'd rather have... I think I'd rather make this station so that it's symmetrical with one piece of station on supports on the front and on the back. I think that'll look a little nicer. It might not be necessary, but I think it'll look nicer. So we're actually going to change this slightly from what I had in mind, because I want to do this. And then the exit will go right there. And that leaves room for something to go right there. What that something is, I'm not sure yet, but let's go ahead and open Go-Karts 1, and let's start by charging... Actually, I need to close that to adjust the number of laps. I think, what's the max they can do? Oh my goodness, no way. I think 3 is good, whatever it started at. We'll do 3 laps. And we'll start by charging 350 for this. Actually, until people get stats on it, let's go up to 450. I think people will still ride it. Yes, they will. So these people, I can still take their money very early on, but we won't get stats for a little bit, and that will adjust drastically our price. Or I hope not too drastically, but... Okay, so this is still doing okay. It's just no one wants to ride it. I'm going to do a lot of this kind of just monitoring of my park. 28 people on ride, that's doing okay. And see, no one's on Haunted House right now, so it's probably too expensive. Yeah. However, now that it's raining, people are going to still ride it. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. If it's a reasonable price, they will still ride it. But it's not, apparently. My goodness. I really don't like doing this pricing scheme. This is ridiculous. I'm making like no money on my rides. Jeez. But then again, I'm making all my money on the entrance fee. I'm charging them, what, $25 now? Some people only come in with like 30 or 40, so I'm robbing them as soon as they get through. Okay, so Go-Karts 1 is now going. And let's change this color scheme up. This doesn't look so great. I actually don't mind that red. Can we do a darker? No, that's not what I want. How would a green look? I'm trying to add some color to this park, but subtly. I think of all the greens, that's probably the best, and that does add a little bit of color to the park. Not a ton. But then again, this is a mining town. I don't imagine there was a lot of greenery or life in any kind of older mining towns. So I need level land for that one. I think this house would look the coolest. What way should we build this? That way. Perfect. Yeah, that looks nice. And then we can do some of these kind of on the, just around, just to add a little bit to the ride. And right now it's 5.01. If we add some of these barrels and stuff, we'll see what it comes out to. It's now 5.12. Normally, I'd say we just upped how much we could charge for this ride, but, and technically we can. But we're not going to be able to charge the max right away. But people are still willing to pay $4.50. How about $5? No? Too much? $4.50? And oh my goodness, we can charge more for our entrance fee. I'm like torn right now at what to be excited for and what to be upset about. Like, I'm able to charge $30 a head to get into my park, which is awesome. But I can't charge squat for my rides. So, go-karts being an exception. Let's... I'm trying to think of coal or gold related names. I've kind of decided those are the two sort of minerals we're going to be using for this town. Or, I keep calling it a town because I keep thinking it's a mining town, which is, I guess, good that I'm fooling myself into thinking it's a mining town and not a theme park. Speaking of fooling myself, Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold, or Pyrite. It's like gold, but it just flakes apart. It's very flaky. It looks the same, but it's a much lower quality and certainly not actually gold. But yeah, I think that looks good. I think go-karts there is very nice. Very nice indeed. But okay, let's get to building what I said I wanted to build, and that is our Steel Mini. It looks like we got a inverted roller coaster. That's new. We'll build that later in our park, maybe, assuming we have the money to do so. Because right now, we're not broke by any means. We have money. It's just we don't have a ton of money. So, okay, I'm trying to figure out first where I want to expand my park before I start building this. Because that's going to kind of dictate a little bit of everything. Okay, so what if... Okay, I kind of have an idea. I don't know how well it's going to work, but it's an idea nonetheless, and it's going to require that we change the land ever so slightly. So we're actually going to start it all the way down here, and I just need to raise that by 1, because if I place my station on that, I need to raise it by 2. If I place my station on that, then my entrance will be going level with that, which is in line with the top of this portion right here. And then the line will go up and connect right here. So if that didn't make any sense, just trust me on it. It will work out. And I'm going to adjust the land back to how it was because I don't want this looking ugly. I just needed that so I could get the supports at the correct height. So we'll actually go back a little bit here because this is going to end up turning and going this direction. Maybe not. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay, so that will be it for that. And then this is not going to work. For this ride, I kind of want to... I'd like to fill this space right here. Back here and connect up right here. I don't want to make this park look busy. The past couple parks we've done have looked fairly busy, and I'm trying to avoid that. And one thing I can do to help minimize the busy feeling is trying to make my rides a little bit more spread out. Like this, it's very condensed, but it also takes up a very small amount of space. Building a wooden coaster in this park would be interesting in the fact that wooden rides are typically very busy looking. And that is not really debatable. They almost always look busy. Let's see if we can do a helix up here. That would be kind of cool. Okay, so we went from 23 to 20. That's too much. What if we do helix up small? So we're back to 19, and then we'll need to do another drop here as soon as we can to kind of regain some of that speed. I hope this will work. So we can actually do a steep drop right here. I think that would be kind of cool. No, we can't. Of course not. But if we do this going back up, that would be kind of cool, I think. Oh, I love building rides, guys. It is my favorite thing to do in this game, given it is like half of what this game is about. It is called RollerCoaster Tycoon, not pre-built attraction Tycoon. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust the price on these pathetic rides that no one wants to ride. It's so sad to see, but it is what it is. All right, and then can we do a helix, a small helix down? Can we get a second one? No, the land's going to be in the way. That's okay. What if we... Perfect. That's an easy fix, and it doesn't look that bad either. Okay, so we went from 23 to 20 to 19 to 17, and we're still on the decline from 17 currently. So we should have the momentum, not the room, but the momentum to go up a little bit. And I'm wanting this, it's probably going to have to go underground and then come back up right here in line with the station. That's really the only way I see this clearing everything and not looking really bad. So we're going to do just that. This is actually going to go straight for one more and then turn, because I want this to line up on this flat piece of land, not on this angle, because I think that would make it look not as good. So we're going to go into the ground right now, and that should be as simple as doing that. And it is. Perfect. So we're at 13 here. We probably need to go a little bit lower than that just to clear all the land here. But if we do a tight one here, I'm trying to just kind of line it up with this station. And that looks correct. Okay, and we'll start going back up here. Actually, can I do a steep one here? This is going to depend on the land. Oh, it works. That works out perfectly, actually. Oh, we can actually end with more station. Perfect. Okay, let's get the entrance built for this. I realize we are in July. We need to wrap this episode up as soon as we get this ride built. And we'll actually do the entrance at the front here, where we have a little bit more room to meander the line about. And then the exit can go right here, I think looks nice. I'm trying to line it up with just where this path would look proportional in relation to where the line is and where this walkway is. So we have kind of an even amount of space on either side. That's sort of what goes through my mind when, at least on this ride, as I build it. And this can go... We're actually going to take this back up this way. No, this way. There we go. I wanted the line to be a little bit longer than just going straight up, so that accomplishes that, I think. Or at least I hope. And I'm realizing that doesn't look so great, and we need a little bit more fence on that side, just to keep people from falling. Go ahead and take care of this side as well while I'm at it. And just thinking about your guest's safety in that regard, like it's the tiniest little detail, but as the person creating this park, it just gives me one more thing to think about. Actually, let me make sure we have a good 2 trains, 10 cars per train. I'd like to get 3 cars. No, 2 cars is fine. 2 cars, 2 trains, 10 cars per train. So let's go ahead and give Roller Coaster 1 a test real quick, and then we'll come back and paint it and name it. Ooh, I like it. I know it doesn't go super fast, but honestly, that's a good thing for these kind of rides, or just for roller coasters, period. There's some that need to be like just crazy intense, and this is not one of those. So having a decent speed, not anything crazy, is good for this kind of ride. So I am very pleased with how that came out. Let's see if our stats agree with us. We should be getting them here in any second. There we go. So high, medium, that's perfect. Excitement of 520. Let's see if we can get away with 450 to start. If not, that's okay. We'll adjust it accordingly. If anyone even wants to look at it, not paying that much. We'll go in 50-cent increments here. Doesn't look like $4 works either. This is just so much of a guessing game. Okay, so 350 and at least one person. Okay, so 350 is where we will start. So I want to make this, I want to give some color to this, not blue. I was actually thinking, as I saw this, I kind of wanted to do an orange. Not on the car. Let's try, and I don't think this orange is going to look super great. There actually might be a good combination. Okay. I kind of like that, actually. I didn't think I wanted to do this bright of an orange, but it honestly looks better, I think. And it adds a little bit of color, but it still kind of fits within our color palette, which as of right now is not much. There's not much color in this park, but that's kind of what I'm going for. So, okay, and then this is going to be hard hat something, because of where they hit, where they enter here. I think like they might hit their heads. You need a hard hat. Hard hat hitter. I forget what the names of the support beams, like in a mine shaft, are. I've been in an actual mine shaft before, and there's cross beams that support the basically, they prevent the mine from caving in. And so you definitely want to wear a hard hat, because if you're walking in the mine and you hit your head, that's going to hurt a lot. Okay, so I think that does it for hard hat hitter. I actually kind of like that color scheme, and we'll do all in same colors. So that is it for hard hat hitter, and that is also going to do it for this episode. We went on a little bit into July. I think we're almost done with July. Yeah. But that was well worth our time. I am very happy with how this came out. We need to make sure that our handymen, again, there I go, getting the wrong name, our mechanics are able to cover everything that we built, because I realized we didn't do that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy this series, please make sure to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed already, please do so. Seeing a growth in my number of subscribers and just seeing people like and watch my videos, it helps a lot with just keeping my motivation to make these videos up. Some days I don't really feel like recording, but I do it anyway because I know there's some people out there that really enjoy watching these, and I don't want to disappoint, so I do it for you guys. But thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode, and until then, take care.